check.
Believe you'll see it all comes together. My dream, I bleed, I'll give the better part of me. Be free, break free, release, destroy the enemy. Just breathe. Fight for the power. Stand your ground, don't let it go. Fight for the power. Can't be scared when you're in the dark. You should never let the fear make you run away. Fire still burning for another day. Fight for the power. I get the one.
Pushes it in.
Oh, he's got another one! He's got another one!
Oh, wow.
As that ball bounces across the middle, he is onside.
Strong last 4 minutes of the first half. Pause.
Let's go. Hey, when we get the ball back, punish them.
With the and one. Going right, passing left. There's a touchdown pass to Strickland.
Raise your flag or even the score. Take your shot, ready for more. Surrender, there is no other choice. Set my soul free now. Light it up on fire. Bet on me, I got you. Pick a number.
Castle with a block downfield. Breaks the tackle. Stiff arm.
Hope wins! An unbelievable comeback by the Dutch.
He turns that charm off. 1 second.
Hey, if I do it, then I'm doing it to death. Oh yeah, I'm influencing the ones that do it best. Oh yeah, start a movement with the crew. You got a few, we got a slew. We trying to do what they said that we couldn't do. Oh yeah, I ain't living with regrets. Ain't no limits, ain't no rest. They want money, power, respect. All I wanna be blessed. We want the legacy. We got the hope and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory. We want the blessing. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, you know I do it for the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, hey, when I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory. For the real, I know how they used to feel. Now I'm here up in the field, making these moves, making these deals. I made something out of nothing. I ain't bluffing, no discussion. Look at the numbers, I've been hustling. Little rough around the edges, still I made it though. Still I just been laying low. Man, I just just feel grateful though. I know where I come from and I ain't alone. Yeah, and I feel so blessed. Too blessed to be stressed. And I'm with the day unos. They don't ride to the death. We got the legacy. We got the hope and we bring in the remedy. Working it steadily. We want the glory. We want the glory. If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. The glory. The glory. You know I do it for the glory. The glory. When I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory. Don't give me
Live from DeVos Fieldhouse for none other than MIAA matchup here. Hope College hosting the Hornets of Kalamazoo. Mike Coleman, my better half, here with Matt Wayner on this edition of MIAA basketball, and a good one we have here with first place Hope College at 7-1 in the MIAA, taking on 0-8 winless in the MIAA Kalamazoo. These teams have faced each other, Mike, so we'll get into some of the details of them. But why don't we talk about the MIAA as a whole? So what do we have here, Mike, at stake on this floor?
Well, glad to be with everybody tonight. Thanks for checking in. And Matthew, you know, if you'd have told me at the beginning of the conference schedule that Hope would be tied for first, not to be a pessimist, but, you know, they lost a few bodies, some productive players, and they had some newbies, a lot of freshmen and underclassmen coming in, tied for first place at this very moment with the upstart Olivet Comets, which is another story. I would say, well, that'd be a pretty tough one in a good way, because they're playing good basketball. They've won some big games. Their lone loss against Calvin, when they were up by 12, they fell. But this is a team that, without Parker Hovey the last couple games, has won. And they played some pretty solid basketball through the MIAA after taking some lumps in non-conference action.
Yeah, and at 7-1, like you said, not surprised by the overall record. 12-7 is probably about what I would have expected 19 games in, but looking at the MIAA as a whole, who would have thought Calvin University now 5-3 in the 4th place in the MIAA after, to be honest, kind of crushing Hope on their home court a couple weeks ago. You add into that Trine 6-2, they got a loss to Hope, and they have a loss to Olivet, I believe, and then Olivet in 2nd place. So I'm patting my own back, talking about how much I loved Olivet, you know, when we watched them play in that Glen Van Classic. But to be determined, as Hope will play them a second time as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a slog. As after tonight, Hope has 4 of their last 5 games on the road. And but this is one of those games, Matthews, you come in, yeah, you're tied for first, but you can't get caught up in any of that, because this is a game you have to have. Now, you've got Calvin, Trine, and Olivet on your schedule before it's all said and done. You could win 3 of those, even if you lost a couple. These are the games you have to mark down your favor.
Yeah. It is. You cannot look ahead in this game. It is a game where Hope clearly superior to Kalamazoo, both on the offensive and defensive end, but one that they have to take. But outside of this game, Mike, we got a big one in Albion at Trine tonight for a really big game that could have implications for that 2-3 seed as well.
Absolutely, and we're going to see Trine a week. We will not see Trine. Hope will see Trine a week from tonight down in Angola. Those Wednesday night road games are tough. But I tell you what, the Thunder have their hands full with Albion, who took us down to the wire until we pulled away. They beat Calvin, and the Britons are going to be in the mix somehow. They're going to make their way into the postseason.
They're a good MIAA team. Their non-conference schedule says so as well. They're just pretty inconsistent from what I saw. Ume has kind of come back down from earth. He was 16-11 in his first 5 MIAA games. Since then, he hasn't gotten in double digits. So he's starting to come down to earth a little bit. But outside of them at Albion, let's talk a little bit about these two teams.
Sure. You know, Kalamazoo always gives Hope its best. And in the 225th meeting of all time, Hope's won 10 straight against Kalamazoo. The last loss was back in 2020. And I remember that game. Hope was smoked 91-72. But Greg Mitchell, the lone loss against Kazoo in his tenure. You know, just a series that Hope has dominated, 55-1 since 1998. So like we said, Hope is favored. But you know, these two teams played back on the 21st down in Kalamazoo. The Hornets were actually up by 3 at halftime, but a 16-4 run by Hope in the first 5 minutes of that second half kind of sealed the deal for the Flying Dutchman. But you know, you're talking about Albion being inconsistent. Kalamazoo bring back 3 starters from a team that won 10 games, the most under Nick Giard in his 7th season, but they're inconsistent. They give up a lot of points. They've got some guys who can score, but they never know where they're going to get that from.
And that first game, I know we talked about that. That was on the road in Kalamazoo a few weeks ago on January 21. Hope squeaked out an 8-point win, one that I remember following it while I was calling the girls' game, score checking, and I was like, they just won't pull away. It wasn't until the last couple minutes they were able to maintain a 6 to 8 point lead. Ended up being 8 at the end of the day, but that's a game where Hovey had 23, Cargill had 19, Yant added 10, Werman only had 6, but a game where they out-rebounded Kalamazoo 40-29. They had 52 points in the paint, so more of what I'll see tonight. I think we're going to see a lot of points in the paint, but that wasn't exactly their best showing, so my prediction would be Hope kind of comes to demand their will to be known early.
Well, we'll talk about the keys to the game, but one thing Hope did not do well that night was 3 for 11 from the free throw line. And get this, Matt Wayner, they hit their last 3 free throws down in crunch time to take that victory. They got to hit free throws if this is a tight game. But then you look at Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo has lost 11 straight. They have not won since early December, and they had a really good effort in a loss to Olivet at Kalamazoo last Saturday as Patrick Perez had a season-high 19, but they took an Olivet Comets team down to the wire before Olivet pulled away.
Yeah, so they're going to be scrappy. They're going to be able to hit open shots, and it's the kind of game where you have to play discipline. You have to play wire to wire. You can't take those 5-minute stretches off that we've seen in conference play. I mean, not just Hope. I think that was Trine that we watched a few weeks ago when Hope beat them by 2. They took a 5-minute stretch off, and it really played to their deficit. Now, on the other end of things, Calvin took 5 to 7 minutes off against Trine and ended up getting blown out by 20. So in this conference especially, wire to wire, Hope needs to lead this game, and they can't really give any breath to Kalamazoo.
No, they really can't. You know, Kalamazoo's led by Perez, but what I've liked about Hope over the years is they have held the big scores for Kalamazoo in these games down. Carter Bandermer is a great 3-point shooter for Kalamazoo, has never had a big game against Hope College. Caleb Call had a career-high 14 points a few years ago, but and he's coming off a nice game of 14 in the loss against Olivet, but Hope's had the ability to damper down the high scores for Kalamazoo. And you talk about the two teams, Kalamazoo doesn't have the defense. Hope has had the ability to use that clamp down D against the opposition.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit, you and I, earlier, that Hope does a good job in games when they're inefficient offensively, being able to keep the other team at bay. Last year, a good example of that is in that MIAA championship game, they held Calvin to 64 points in a slogfest of a game. Kalamazoo struggled to be able to do that in conference play, giving up 85 points a game. So they have to be able to shoot with the other team and be able to stay in it every time. And they just turn the ball over at a high rate. However, I think their key to success tonight is going to be being able to get back in transition defense. If they can keep Hope in front front of them that can keep them from getting to the bucket. If Hope's able to get clear outs and able to get the ball down to Gant or Howell or Blount, looks like I just saw Howell's going to be in the starting lineup tonight. So if they're getting the ball down to those two bigs and they're going to out-rebound Kalamazoo, it'll be a long night for them. You flip the coin, though, and they're able to get back, they're keeping them at bay, and they're not turning the ball over 16 times a game, Kalamazoo can win this game.
You know, I've liked about Hope College, they're 2-0 without Parker Hovey, the second leading scorer in the conference, and they've won it with shooting over 50% the last two. But, you know, they trailed Adrian on Saturday with 10 minutes left, and they went on another 16-4 run. But what have you liked about Hope? I'll tell you who I like. I've liked Brendan Cargill, who had all his points in Saturday's game in the second half, and Orion Yant. They've been able to lean on him for hope.
Totally agree. In the last two games that in Hovey's absence, Cargill 30 points against Albion, 17 against Adrian. Marcus Werman 12 against Albion, 19 against Adrian. And Orion 14 against Albion, 17 against Adrian. So what do you know? It's those three guys that they're filling in those 6 to 8 buckets a game that Parker was averaging. And Sanchez, how about him coming off the bench for 12 on Saturday? So I think it's going to be those four that have been important, but can't go much longer without saying Sam Carlson's been that defensive anchor. He played 17 minutes against Albion, 16 against Adrian, and he's kind of been, I mean, I see Coach Mitch being like, hey, you're going to come in, you got to give havoc to their best scorer for 5 minutes at a time.
Yeah, he's a floor leader. He hasn't played a lot of minutes until the last two. He's been called upon, and the senior out of Superior, Colorado, has given the team an emotional lift, who are playing really balanced basketball. Matt, now stay right here. We'll listen to the playing of the national anthem and the lineups, and we'll have tip-off against the Kalamazoo Hornets on this Wednesday night. Thanks for joining us in MIAA broadcast of Hope Basketball.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Elizabeth Teller. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the DeVos Fieldhouse here in the campus of Hope College for today's MIAA contest between the Hornets of Kalamazoo College and your Hope College Flying Dutchman. Here tonight's starting lineups. First for the Hornets at 1 forward, a 6'2 senior from Howell, number 5, Carter Bendemer. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'6 sophomore from Cadillac, number 5, Charles Howell. At 1 forward for the Hornets, a 6'5 junior from San Diego, California, number 23, Patrick Perez. And at 1 forward for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'2 senior from Rochester Hills, number 10, Justice Mims. Starting at center for the Hornets, a 6'8 junior from Macomb, number 33, Connor Koki. And at center for the Flying Dutchman, a 6'6 sophomore from Zeeland, number 33, Orion Yant. At one guard for the Hornets, a 6-foot senior from Chelsea, number 2, Lucas Hannafin. And at one guard for the Flying Dutchman, a 5'10" freshman from Grand Rapids, number 31, Brendan Cargill. And at the final guard spot for the Hornets, a 5'11" sophomore from Ann Arbor, number 12, Nelson Sampa. And at the final guard spot for the Flying Dutchman, a 5'11" senior from Lansing, number 12, Marcus Warman. Kalamazoo College is coached by Nick Giard. Hope College is coached by Greg Mitchell. Your officials this evening, Lewis Brown, Mike Bray, and Ryan DeHaan.
Looking at the starting lineups for the Kalamazoo College Hornets under 7th-year coach Nick Giard, coming off one of his best seasons with 10 victories last year, 3-16 this year, 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and a sophomore. For Greg Mitchell's Hope College Flying Dutchman, in his 11th season, 4 MIAA titles, 4 MIAA tournament championships, 6 times to the national tournament, 2 seniors, 2 sophomore, and a freshman. So a little youth on both sides of the starting lineups, Matthew.
Yeah, and that will be interesting as we see, Mike, for this kind of a mixture of youth and experience for Kalamazoo as they kind of look to find who they're trying to become over the next year or so.
Kuki comes out on Yance in the battle of the 33s. Cargill in traffic, stuck in the keys, got to kick it out. Kalamazoo comes out with some spirited man-to-man. Shot clock at 10. Good look inside. Mims with a double clutch. How with the feed?
And you were the one that was telling me. Tell me all about Mims and what he's done against Kalamazoo.
All Mims has done, he averages 6.5 in his career. He's averaged almost 12 in his career in 6 games against Kalamazoo in his career. High off the window, skips off, no. As coming away empty is Perez. Here comes Cargill downhill. Yant slashing. Tried to feed Mims. He goes out of bounds, and so does the basketball. It'll stay with Hope. And, you know, some guys just have a team's number. Matt, you're an athlete. You've played baseball and all that. You know sometimes you're dialed in on a team or an individual you just own.
Yeah, maybe somebody, you're a pitcher, and you're like, you know what, I just kind of own this roster.
Got him out with some cheese on the inside corner.
Yeah, then again, there's people who struggle with, who is that? Scooball always struggled with the Guardians in the postseason.
It's incredible.
But here today, I love the pace Hope's working with so far, Mike.
Yant tries to split the D. Good step back, and he went between Kuki and Perez, and Hope jumps out to a 2-bucket lead.
Just not taking too much time, not letting the ball get stuck down there. Making a decision and sticking with it.
2 teams who do not shoot the 3-ball well as a step-back 3-ball, and Lucas Hannafin has something to say about that. The leading receiver in the MIAA for the Kalamazoo football Hornets makes it a 4-3 Hope lead. Now we're seeing a zone by KZoo after they started out in man-to-man coverage. Kind of a 3-2, Matt, or a 1-2-2.
Yeah, it just looks like they're kind of going to mix in and out of something man-to-man and that. But they don't really have the size for the 1-3-1. They're just maybe trying to force them out and not being able to shoot. They're going to make them drive through it.
Cargill had to force it down on the shot clock. Good defense by Kalamazoo as Perez, check that. That is Nelson Sampa, the sophomore out of Ann Arbor, with some good speed. Sampa, the assist leader. 3-ball, corner pocket, the rainbow high in the arms of Yant. Yant has been so solid. How about 6 rebounds, 11 points in his last 5? Dump inside. Howe met at the summit. Contact, and Perez will get the malfeasance for the Hornets.
Good take. Looked like a decent block there by Perez, but I think he got him on the arm. Let's see what it does on the replay.
Yeah. Well, I think there was contact on the midsection as Howell went up strong, and now Charlie Howell, sophomore out of Cadillac.
You were talking about Yant. I mean, can't say enough about what he's done, not just in the last 2 games, like we said, 17 and 14, but in this whole MIAA play, he's really solidified himself as a starter. Block was injured early with an ankle. He's still available, and he's going to come in and play 15 minutes tonight, but he has kind of solidified himself as a really important centerpiece to that Hope defense, as well as somebody they can get the ball to on offense.
Absolutely true, as Yant, the 55% free throw shooter, splits the pair. But Yant only played 10 minutes and scored 10 points in the victory at Kalamazoo back on the 21st. He has a tendency to accumulate fouls. Hannafin leans, drives, and scores off the window, up and over. Howell. Hannafin's a good one.
Yeah, Hannafin, I like the way that he attacks the basket, and he did a good job. You said he's able to be that two-sport athlete as well. Pretty impressive. He's 12 a game. He leads scorers for Kalamazoo as well, Mike.
Yeah, he's great. 15 points in his last 4 games on average. He was the 6th man last year, as he's worked his way into a starting role. Justice riding the back of Sampa, and we've got a whistle. I don't know who they're going to call that on. It looks like it's on Kazoo. Oh, Sampa with a box out. He had Justice Mims in a squat hold.
Yeah, I saw that.
Marcus with a step back. So they're just battling. That could have easily been just intermittent contact. So foul number 2 for Kalamazoo. 5 will put you in the bonus. Excuse me, 7. He hadn't thought about the 3. Matthew, every once in a while, likes to pull that long ball trigger.
He doesn't take many of them, but every once in a while, if he's open, he'll hit it. We've seen him do it here at DeVos before. There's the runner by Werman.
By the way, Warman playing in his 98th game, 24 points away from being the 46th player all-time in Hope history with 1,000 career points. Long rebound fielded by a good rebounding guard, Justice Mims. Kalamazoo 3 of 5 in the game. Cargill lines up his first 3 ball. He has money from the corner.
He leads the MIAA in three-point shooting so far, Mike, and there's a reason for it. He's over 35% a game. I think he's up to 38 now because he has been hot as a $2 pistol.
39 to be exact. Absolutely 50% in his last 5 from deep. We saw him go absolutely unconscious in our last game. Hannafin lines back with the 3, too strong. In the game for the Hornets is Ben Van Sumeren out of Midland Dow. And Kalamazoo comes away empty, second straight trip, 8-5 Hope.
And although Cargill leads the MIAA in three-pointers, Mike, we're looking at the 2 worst three-point shooting teams in the MIAA.
We are. Cargill goes up and over Van Sumeren. Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see what type of volume they will get, Matt, as far as how many three-point shots. But there's only been 1 for Hope and 4 for Kalamazoo trying to push the trigger, only shooting 30%. Media timeout. We'll take a timeout, Matthew, and I'll be right back. A lot of basketball left, 15 and change here on the Anchor Network.
Are you thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing? Your title agency matters, and you have a choice. Lighthouse Title started in Holland, Michigan more than 20 years ago and has grown to over 45 locations. We are proud to be local in these communities. Visit Lighthouse Title for more information and use our online widget, Louie the Lightkeeper, to chat with someone today about how we can help you close on your new home.
Games in action in a full slate of activities tonight in the MIAA. Adrian at Calvin. Calvin trying to come off the stinging loss to Olivet. Alma is taking on the said Comets. We'll see that in a week from this coming Saturday right here at DeVos. And Albion trailing Trine in Angola, Indiana early in the first half, 8-4. And here, Matt, is 10-5. Hope has doubled up. Kalamazoo, kind of what you were supposing in the pregame, Matt, and when we talked earlier, Hope relying on inside pressure, driving to the basket, good passes.
And really just on their 1 3-point try, that was also what I talked about with that transition defense being a little bit late, and Werman really took advantage of that. Carlson was just a tad late there to get back, able to get the easy 2.
Yes, Sam Carlson, the senior out of Superior, Colorado, lets Van Sumeren slip in for a layup. Van Sumeren averaging 2 points a game.
And Mike Block checked back in, and there's his 2.
And those slant passes inside have been fantastic as Kyle Block converting. You know, he started off with a 23-point effort in the season opening win against Anderson. Got slowed down by that ankle injury, but he has some pretty good numbers off the bench, and he'll get 14, 15 like you alluded to. Good feed inside. Hanovan feeds J.J. Stevens.
With Kogi out, they really don't have a big presence in there. They're kind of using Perez down there, but it'll be interesting to see what they move into defensively because this is a pretty small lineup.
Yeah, back to the man-to-man defense. Perez is 6'5", but he's got the ups of a 6'7" player. Baseline once again, too much. Is Cargill off the mark, chased down by Howell. Oh, and Howell goes down hard.
Yeah, that looked bad over here.
Wow. Credit the Kalamazoo bench for trying to cushion him.
He's okay, but that was scary.
Yeah, he went in feet higher than his leg. Beautiful dish. JJ to the rack. Stevens with a +1 opportunity. 6'6" senior out of Sturgis. Stevens, 87th career game as a 6'6" senior. Did not play in the last game. I don't know if he was injured, but he adds some athleticism to this lineup. Like you said, that doesn't go very tall.
It's a nice take, and that's 2 possessions for Hope, not getting back. Off of communicating through, hey, are you switching, are you staying? That's just a communication issue.
Stevens 54% on the year, 7-2 run by Kalamazoo. We've got a tie ball game after Hope was up 10-5. Both teams shooting over 50% early on. Carlson, like Matt alluded to, last 2 games, 3 rebounds, 3.5 points a game. And Cargill is finding the sweet spot in the near corner.
Hope's 2 for 3 from 3, and Cargill's 2 for 3 from 3.
He has been something else. I misquote. I said he was 50% the last 5 from deep. He's 53, Matt. How about 18 of 35? He's 2 for 2 tonight.
Jeez, give him his credit, Mike.
Sampa misses mid-range. Carlson cleans up the carom. Hope trying to push the pace. Carlson in those flowing locks and a full head of steam. Block. Colorado to Colorado. I wonder if they played each other in high school. I meant to look up the proximity.
Well, Colorado's not exactly a small state.
Well, you've got Superior, Colorado, and Boulder. I know where Boulder is, but I didn't look up where Superior was. Tell us. Yes! Ooh. Carlson misses baseline. Good-looking shot. Cleared by Sampa. Back topside. Sampa will set up and line up. He's had a rough go, just 1 for his last 12 from 3-point land.
He has as a shooter, but I like what he can add as a guard in terms of setting up offense.
Yeah, he's a facilitator.
Yeah, he can get the ball out really well, Mike. It's just sometimes I think he wants to force it, as you can see a lot this year.
Yeah, Hanovan back in, the leader out of Chelsea, Michigan, and Connor Kuki, the 6'8" junior out of Macomb, Lance Cruz North. They've got a 6'7" freshman out of Imlay City. Xander Nash, who doesn't play much, and Trey Bowling out of East Grand Rapids. He's a senior with some height. We have not seen them yet, but they don't get a lot of minutes.
Similar substitutions to Coach Mitchell. They'll go about 10 or 11 deep tonight, just like Hope.
Yeah, Avery Sanchez out of Turlock, California. Good step back and a nice lay down.
That was on Bishop as well.
Oh, thank you. Yes, Bishop. Vandermeer, who's been very quiet. His first shot goes down from mid-range. Sanchez coming off his best game in 10. He had 12 in the win Saturday at Adrian. Sanchez wheeling up a high screen from Yant. Step back, left elbow.
Oh, yeah.
Money. And we got contact underneath. It's going the other way. Now, will they count that basket? The basket does score. It was after the fact.
Is that foul on Yant? Yant's first.
Yeah, Yant with a push up on Sampa. Gotta love our replay crew. 17-14.
Love that move by Sanchez. Love him getting involved early, too. Kind of that fade away. You see it at times. I mean, he's not a high usage scorer, Mike, but at times Sanchez will just pull out something we haven't seen all year.
He doesn't need 15 shots to get his points. He's also an excellent free throw shooter, too.
Good D.
He was 8 of 9 in Saturday's game at Adrian. Good rejection by Yant. Chased down Perez. Perez, no points, a leading scorer for this team.
Great defensive engagement by Hope.
And Yant, speaking of, gets his second basket. Another basket in the key.
Turn defense to offense, Mike, with 12 points in the paint now for Hope.
Yeah, good stuff. They've hit 4 of their 5 shots in the paint. Quick release, Hannafin for 3. Skips off. Simon Newhouse, the junior out of East Grand Rapids, with a strong board.
Kalamazoo's got to get a stop here.
Yeah, spin move. Kooky can't handle the big O.
That's a brutal 6-point run for Kalamazoo in the last minute. Every bucket off a miss, Hope's able to convert.
Good kick out, good closure though by the Hope defense. Nice turnaround, and selling that one nicely is Connor Kooky. He's been in double figures 3 times. Not a big score, just 2 points and 1 rebound in the loss of Hope back on the 21st in Kazoo. That breaks a 6-point run. Carter, Bishop, 3, skips off.
Yeah, is destroying them down low right now, Mike.
Numbers. Inside, Hannafin, high off the window, and contact. He has a nice tip out by Kalamazoo defensively, created the fast break. We'll keep it right here. 4 straight points by Kalamazoo gets them back in.
Yeah, and you can see on that steal, that's a good look by Sampa for Hannafin for the strong finish. Foul on Carlson, but I was just talking about, I mean, he's been absolutely destroying him down low. Not all those converting to baskets as much as it's just he's getting so deep and he's getting offensive rebounds now. Like, that's going to be a big struggle for them. Their big presence is just somewhat absent, and this is a really good recipe for Kalamazoo to stay in this game and win this game. If they can kind of stay within 2 or 3, but be able to force Hope to score outside of the paint.
You know what I like about Yan too? He's not a prototypical big man. He's 6'6", he's rangy, he's fast. What I've been impressed with and did not know about his game was the fact after he gets, let's say, at the mid post, he's got great spin moves. He's very handy with the basketball, a good ball handler, and he's able to create some distance due to that first step speed of his and his handling skills.
He's fast and he's athletic. And I was saying to you earlier, Mike, if Hope were to have more of like a true 6'8", 6'9" big, that would open up Yant to really guard the 4 really well. More of what they were able to use Howell for last year because they had Gabe Quillen. So when you have Gabe Quillen, you can use somebody like Yant to be able to come guard their 4, guard their post presence guy that's under 6'8", and then also guard the perimeter well, because he does a good job on the perimeter. He's just probably slightly undersized to play a true 5 in the MIAA.
Agreed. He can match physicality, but just size, just simple physics sometimes. Although he performed nicely defensively against Jalen Overway in that loss against Calvin, as a 3-point play is finished off. Hannafin starting off strong. Give him 8 points. He is tied with a floor lead with Cargill with 8 for Hope, as Justice Mims back in the game. 6 have scored for the Fine Dutchman. Warman gets into the act with his first basket. Nice little pull-up 10-footer. That is the Marcus Warman trademark jumper.
It is. Let's get him going early. He only had 6 last time against Kalamazoo. He's going to be an important piece here.
Agreed. His 3-point shooting's really been pretty well as Kooky converts. 5 of his last 11 from 3-point land.
Mike, that's the freshman again. Weaselit coming in for a few minutes.
There we go.
It started against Calvin. He played 16 minutes against Calvin, hit 2 threes.
That's right.
Since then, he's played about 6 minutes a game.
Didn't factor in as Warman tries it for 3, and we talked about it. 6 for his last 12, finding the range, and a good-looking stroke by the senior. We are on 1,000-point Marcus Warman watch. Marcus, just get 24 and hit that 1,000-point mark as Charles Howell, rejection at the summit. Charles Howell went, not on my lawn. Good strong rebound as Howell banged into a Hornet and will get pegged for the malfeasance. For Howell, that is foul number 2. Only player for both teams that has more than 1 foul. As Sampa out, Perez back in. Like we talked about in the pregame, Matt, Hope has had success neutralizing big scores for Kalamazoo in the last few years. And Perez, no baskets on 2 missed shots so far, the leading scorer.
Right, in last game he had 14, which is over his average, but he's been able to be neutralized, and it was still kind of a game where Hope was winning on so many facets of the game that it was kind of seemed like a late a late burst for Perez to get to his 14.
He had 9 rebounds on that game. Good take going down low. Perez, we speak to soon as the San Diego, California product, playing his basketball in the cold Midwest. 26-23 Hope with 8:45 remaining. We've seen man and zone as Newhouse. Newhouse has turned into a really good dish guy. He had 3 assists Saturday at Adrian, and he's got good court awareness for a big. Yet back in. Westlick will check out, and checking in the game will be Xander Nash, the 6'7" freshman out of Imlay City for Kalamazoo. Averaging 4 points a game and 3.5 rebounds, adding some height to Nick Giard's lineup. By the way, good to see DJ Ferguson, former Kalamazoo player, as an assistant coach now on the Hornets bench. Hannafin. He was one of those 3-sport athletes in high school. You know he was. He played football, basketball, probably ran track or baseball. Kookie, not his shot, will take it. Good box out by Cargill. He's a really solid rebounder, isn't he?
He is. 4.5 rebounds a game here. Mike at 5'10". That's just hustle. That's just effort from the freshman.
Yeah, it really is. Kalamazoo hanging around. They had a 3-point lead the last time these two teams met at halftime. Warman double clutch. No, got his rebound back. Hit the bottom of the backboard. Good defense down low as Kookie cleans up the mess. Nash kicking the corner. 3-ball, corner pocket, money. Perez. 5 for Perez in a row. We got a tie ball game as Kalamazoo shooting 48%, 2 of 8 from deep. Hope 3 of 6 from deep, and Hope shooting 58%. Kazu 3 more field goal attempts in this game. Justice, side iron, weak side rebound. Hannafin quickly. Kalamazoo showing some hustle, Matt.
Yeah, they are. This has been a really good stretch for them. Coming out of that 21-16 media timeout, Mike, it's been a lot better.
Good
That's just
rebound.
A hustle basket.
Yeah, it really
Hope needs a timeout. They need to regroup because
yeah, agreed.
They're just getting out hustled right now.
Jackson Kiefer, who had that putback, he had 15 points, a season high against Hope on the 21st, including 3 of 6 from deep. So he has enjoyed taking on the orange and blue.
Hope
and Hope
scoreless in their last 2.5 minutes. Kalamazoo on a 7-0 run right now, Mike.
And that's going to go the other way with 6:37 left. Sampa back in, Van Sumeren back in, and J.J. Stevens as Avery Sanchez is timing on the court. We'll take a quick breather. We'll be back in 30. Hope down by 2 in the Anchor Network.
Welcome to Car Center. We're an automotive collision repair company with multiple locations throughout West Michigan. We take care of your car and all the details so that you can focus on what matters the most.
Creating quality repairs today is much more complex. That's why we have set standards that make sure everything is done with precision and quality. So when our job is done, your vehicle is back to pre-accident condition and meets manufacturer warranties.
Fixing cars is our job, but helping people, that's our business.
Back here in DeVos Field, that's 28-26. Kalamazoo now leading from that 7-0 run in the last 3 minutes. Hope scoreless in the last 3. And Mike, how about right now? Kalamazoo beating Hope in the paint 18-16. Not something I expected.
No, and that's something where Hope should have the dominating factor. And Kalamazoo, the worst team as far as turnovers per game, averaging 16 a game without a turnover in this game. And they're shooting well at 50%. So you got to give your hat to Kalamazoo, playing spirited on the road.
It's big, and I think at halftime what Coach Mitchell and staff's going to talk about is finding ways to be able to force them. They're really playing too loose in this man. I think they got to maybe work to some sort of half-court trap or something. They've done a better job, and there's the first turnover of the game.
Kalamazoo has definitely been able to have purchase down low. Now, we've seen more Hope zone defense this year when they have really arguably in Greg Mitchell's tenure. And we have not seen that tonight. Carlson back in. Tries to skip it down off a foot of Kalamazoo. That's going to go against Hannafin. It'll stay with Hope with 6:11 to play and 20 to shoot on the shot clock. Hope won for their last 5, almost 3-minute scoreless break. Powell, free throw line extended. Sanchez trying to get a step on Sampa. Cargill, NBA triple topside, and you knew it was going down. With those blue suede shoes, he's sporting 3 balls for Cargill. He had 4 in the win against KZoo a couple weeks ago.
Carrying Hope right now with 11, Mike.
Absolutely true. He has all 3 of Hope's 3-pointers is going in strong. J.J. Stevens. Stevens been around a while. He's been a starter before, now comes off the bench for Nick Giard. Newhouse. Kick out to Cargill in traffic. We got a travel call. Turnover number 4. As Cargill took a step.
Yeah, I think he just displaced his feet. He was looking for explanation, but I think he did a jump stop and then took both feet up again.
Carter Bishop, the sophomore out of Holt, the 3-point leader his senior year as a member of the Holt Rams. Comes in with Hope down by 1. Kalamazoo playing some solid basketball. Not a great rebounding team. They've evened up with Hope as that one's short. Hannafin tried to poke it away. Bishop quickly. Sanchez, Cox, loads, hits, bingo!
They needed that, Mike. Hope now 5 of 9 from 3-point land.
Sanchez with a solid 3, his first basket. That's going to be a foul on Mr. Howell for Hope, and that's foul number 3. And Greg Mitchell off to our right, looking down the bench. We're going to see Neil Imey. So Imey checks in, the junior out of Maple City, Glen Lake. Want to say hi to Bob and Renee if they're listening up there. I know I had to shovel this morning before I came down. I'm sure you did too. Man, I'm not kidding. We have snow up. I'm a 6'4" guy. I have snow halfway up between my hip and my knee.
How long does that take you to get all that snow out of your driveway?
Depends how motivated I am. I was pretty motivated because I was in a hurry today.
Depends how much Starbucks you had too.
Exactly. Might have had an extra cup. Sorry, Tam.
No, you're bringing the juice tonight.
I am bringing the juice. Nelson Sampa. Free throw line extended for Stevens. Imey comes out on him. I saw Imey working on his mid-range before the game. Sampa just scurrying around, nowhere to go, step back. That's good defense right down to the wire. Shot clock violation. I like that matchup. Imey stayed with him step for step, and Sampa took a poor shot.
It was really good, and that's what you need out of these couple minutes from him right now.
Absolutely true. Give Howell a chance, who will not play the remaining 4.5, to sit with 3 fouls. Yant, though, has 2 fouls, something to keep an eye on. Only 2 fouls for Kalamazoo entirely.
We're going to see more Newhouse. We're going to see more block, I imagine, in a minute or so.
You bet. Saw 3 minutes out of block earlier. Newhouse trying to bang around on Sampa. Good move. Short-armed it, T-Rex'd it, came up in an offensive rebound. Just the second of the day for Hope.
How about Bishop being there? Come on!
Newhouse!
Nice play by Simon.
The circus release as he had his back towards the basket and he just flipped it over with his right hand. Gives Simon his first basket. Stevens trapped in the key. Goes up. No. Strong rebound. Bishop with authority as he brings it back and sets the offense.
I've seen a different animal in Bishop in the last 5 games, haven't you? Yeah, a little more aggressive. He looks a little more confident. Looks like he wants to be here. That first game in, when he came in, he was expected a couple of threes, and he looked quiet. He looked a little bit nervous. He's a different cat now, in a good way.
Bandemer, that's his first 3-ball of the day. And you know, for a guy who played a lot in high school, he was a stud for Holt. Didn't play last year at all on the varsity level. You take a few games to kind of get used to the pace, and you got to give the young guys a chance to get into their own rhythm. Cargill,
Imey getting the offensive rebound there.
He's playing some strong minutes as Newhouse is too strong from the top of the key. And that one juggled out of bounds. It would be a good break for Hope with 2:56 left in the first.
Kalamazoo just can't get out of their own way, Mike.
Not in the last 2 minutes. Bandemer on the replay. We'll keep it right here, Matt. Well, we talked about Vandermeer. He comes in averaging 10 points a game. He's only averaged 5 in his career against Hope, as he was scoreless in one of the games last year. But Vandermeer having a slower part of his season. And the reason I mentioned Carter is he was lights out, over 13 points a game in the first half of the season. And if Kalamazoo to succeed, Vandermeer, a 6'2 senior, their best three-pointer, has to keep teams honest from outside.
Yeah, it does. And right now they're just 3 of 9 from 3, Mike, and they're a 30% three-point shooting team. But you expect them to probably only go for 15 to 23s in this one, as they're not typically hitting those at a high clip. But right now the story of the game, Mike, is how about them outscoring in the paint 20 to 18 to Hope, and that's kind of been the difference maker right now.
I think that has surprised a few people, but credit Kalamazoo. They've got they've had some good guard play getting the ball inside. Is Hope up by 1 with 2:56 left. Let's take a trip in our minds to Angola, Indiana, where Albion, in 5th place in the MIAA, trails 3rd place Trine 14 to 10 with 7 and change remaining in the first half in a low-scoring game. Calvin is leading Adrian 5-0 early on, and Alma at Olivet do not have a score to report as of yet. And here, Hope shooting 52%, Kalamazoo shooting 50%. Hope has shot well in Hovey's absence.
It's Brett Boltzma in there for his first minutes.
Yep, the senior out of Wayland. Boltzma goes in looking for contact, almost skimmed it home, but Boltzma will go to the line. Excuse me, Boltzma, a junior. Door Michigan product, went to Wayland High School, and Boltzma with a chance to go to the line.
Mike, Coach Mitchell's already played 13 guys in this one. We still got 2 to play here in the first half. This lineup right here almost looks like a message sent kind of lineup, just a little bit. And it's not going to show up in the stat sheet. I think it's more of the way that they're getting beat on some of those defensive possessions.
I think so.
And it's an attitude adjustment kind of message is what I think.
I think so. Hope has now come out in the zone as Warman back in. Hope showing the 2-3 quick release 3-ball. Too strong. Offensive rebound by Perez. New life for Kalamazoo with 2:20 left in the first. Vandermeer backs it up. Thought about pulling a 4-point NBA triple size try. Over to Hannafin, who's had a hot hand. 8 points in the first half. Shot clock at 6. Hannafin step back mid-range short. Good defense by Cargill as he gets his own reward on the rebound. That's good defense right there.
Yeah, that's a good job right there by Cargill. He has been the MVP in this one so far.
Warman lost Sampa, did not employ the jumper. Now we got an offensive foul. Is that an IME moving screen?
Moving screen or a push. Yeah, he called it a push. I thought it was both a moving screen and a push.
We've had 3 pushing fouls. IME got spun around, but not before he pushed one black jersey. But IME getting some good minutes. Hope up by 3. Their biggest lead was 7 at 21-14. And that's going the other way. Four turnovers now for Kalamazoo. They had no turnovers through the first half of this first half. Both teams are combined 2 for their last 10 from the field, so the scoring is slogged down a tad. Hope still shooting 52%, 5 of 10 from deep. You got to like that number. High screen give. Boltzma fakes the handoff. Quite a different lineup that we have not seen this combo before, Matt. Warman.
No, I totally agree. I mean, we haven't seen IME hardly much at all. We haven't seen Boltzma hardly much at all. They played the last 3 minutes here for Hope.
Agreed. Coming up to a minute left in the first 20 here from DeVos Fieldhouse on the Lakeshore. Glad to have you along on YouTube and the Anchor Network. Stevens double coverage. Hannafin quick release triple try, misses badly. Stevens going after another offensive rebound. He is tenacious.
That was Cargill trying to save that one, too. Cargill's been all over the court right now.
Yeah, he really has. He is playing inspired basketball last few games.
He's leading Hope in rebounds right now with 4 as well.
You know, you get a freshman that comes in, he starts as a freshman. He's been double figures in all but 5 games this year. That is just signs that he's going to be such an impact player here at Hope in his career.
Agreed. And you hope that they get more help around him, too, as well, as somebody that can be more of a dribble drive scorer so that he can be able to set up for that easy 3.
Right. I think that's where he's got such a nice quick release. But, you know, you got guys like Sanchez and Cargill, 2 freshmen with a lot of playing minutes this year. The future bodes well because Hope's going to lose Warman and Sims to graduation after this year's over. Be a lot of changes. Hope only starts 2 seniors. 2 to shoot. Hannafin has to release it. Oh, couldn't get it to go. Look for the membership bounce.
Last shot here. Shot clock off, Mike. Up 3.
Nick Giard wants a timeout. We'll keep it here with 18.3 seconds remaining. Well, our next broadcast will be... Well, when is our next broadcast, Matt?
It's going to be a little bit for you and I. No, I'm going to have
next Saturday.
I'll have a women's game next Wednesday. I know this Saturday is a little bit weird, right? Both teams are playing that back-to-back men's and women's on the road at Alma College,
That's
1 and
correct.
3 p.m. this Saturday. I'll be back here for the women's game next Wednesday. And then you and I have a fun one against Olivet next Saturday, Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I go back a ways with Sam Hargraves, the head coach of Olivet, one of my favorite humans. And I said, Hargraves, I said, Coach, I'm really impressed with what your team has done. You look like you're having fun. And he says, I said, keep the mojo going. And he wrote back and he said, we'll keep it going for the epic battle next Sunday. I said, it'll be Saturday, it'll be Clash of the Titans. So Sam always brings it. I have a lot of respect for him. He turned an Alma College team around, took his team back in 15-16 to the Elite 8 in the Division III tournament.
He's always a good time. He was teasing us right before that Olivet Hope game. Or, not Olivet Hope. We were calling a game that he had non-conference, right? Wash U.
Yeah, Muskingum during the...
Muskingum, that's right. He was coming up and teasing us as we were still live on air. And I was like, shouldn't he be coaching?
He's been doing that for years. He's always poking my microphone. And
yeah.
I had to get a bodyguard. Checking back in will be Jackson Kiefer, Sampa with a breather.
All right, Mike, drawing up right now. I think it's a Cargill 3, and if not, you have some sort of entry here. Here's that high ball screen.
That's a foul to give for sure. That's actually a pretty smart call. Kalamazoo had 1 to give. 7.6 kicks down to 5.5. I wouldn't be surprised if Warman triggered too. Imy back in, bolts him out. So you got 3-point shooters on the court right now for the Flying Dutchman. Bishop deep in the backcourt to Warman. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Purchased. Oh, I have the window. Had a good look, just too strong, and that takes us to halftime. But you got what you wanted, and you take a 3-point lead into the locker room.
Not a terrible look right there, but Mike, things are leaning towards Kalamazoo right now in my eyes. 36-33 in a game where Hope's shooting 50% from the field, 50% from 3. And Kalamazoo is only 43 from the field and 27 from 3, and they're right in this game, and it's because of the way they're winning that battle down low. And a team that typically has turnovers who only has 4 in the first half, and they average 16.
Well, for a Hornets team that hasn't scored in 3.5 minutes and a Hope team that hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds, I hope you didn't have your money set on a lot of offense really in the last couple of minutes of this game. But we'll get to more numbers when we come back after this break. But both teams are shooting well up until the last couple of minutes. But if you're Hope College, I like the fact that they're not overdoing it in 3-point land, and they're taking some good shots, and Brendan Cargill has been the leader.
I agree with that. I think everything offensively right now, I like the way that things are going for Hope. Cargill has 11, he adds 6, Sanchez adds 5, and in a game where offensively, although they don't have a ton of points, I think things are going about the way that you would like them to. Defensively, they could be a lot more engaged, and I know that's what coach and staff are chewing them out for at halftime right now.
Well, like you always say, and we talk about this, there's not a better coach in the MIAA with halftime adjustments than Greg Mitchell. He's one of the senior coaches as a head coach in his 11th season, so we'll see how it pans out. Hope is down by 3 the last time they met a couple weeks ago, up by 3. Some things to clean up, but a win tonight would secure them at least for a tie for first place as Olivet at home tonight against Alma. We'll have an update as soon as we can on that, as well as the other MIAA games. Matt Wayner and Mike Coleman back after a few minutes on the Anchor Network.
Welcome to Car Center. We're an automotive collision repair company with multiple locations throughout West Michigan. We take care of your car and all the details so that you can focus on what matters the most.
Creating quality repairs today is much more complex. That's why we have set standards that make sure everything is done with precision and quality. So when our job is done, your vehicle is back to pre-accident condition and meets manufacturer warranties.
Fixing cars is our job, but helping people, that's our business.
Hope students are challenged to dig deeper. They're challenged to find their calling and shape their future. They're taught to empower their talents, chase their dreams, and encouraged to make a difference. The Hope student body is ready to change the world.
Sports, like healthcare, requires commitment, teamwork, and excellence. That's why Hope College selected Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics to provide athletic training and physical therapy for all Hope College athletes. Get the care you deserve. Trust the team that exceeds expectations. The Holland Hospital and Shoreline Orthopedics Sports Medicine Collaborative.
Are you thinking about buying, selling, or refinancing? Your title agency matters, and you have a choice. Lighthouse Title started in Holland, Michigan more than 20 years ago and has grown to over 45 locations. We are proud to be local in these communities. Visit Lighthouse Title for more information and use our online widget Louie the Lightkeeper to chat with someone today about how we can help you close on your new home.
Cancer, we're coming for you. Parkinson's, your days are numbered. Alzheimer's, we're zeroed in on you too. Because at Van Andel Institute, the world's best minds are working relentlessly to eradicate these diseases forever. By advancing the boldest innovations, achieving breakthroughs, and transforming lives. Because the most powerful way to fight diseases, never stop fighting. Van Andel Institute, innovation unleashed.
Holland BPW is proud to support Hope Athletics and commitment to energy efficiency. It's easy for Holland BPW electric customers to get started with Home Energy 101 at hollandenergyfund.com. With Home Energy 101, learn the best ways to maximize efficiency and save on your utility bills. You also get a kit of energy-saving supplies valued at up to $300. Get started at hollandenergyfund.com today.
Yeah, my name is Travis Williams. I'm the CEO of the ODC Network. I graduated from Hope in 1998. I studied biology, and then I also played football. In order to be successful, people really need more than just the academic experience, but they need people to come alongside them and help them, coach them, mentor them. I find that Hope College has just been one of the best examples of being able to do that anywhere.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to help share Hope stories of transformational impact.
Some call it naive, others call it foolish. But hope has never been silenced by doubt. Hope is the unquiet heart, stirring, pounding, driving us towards something greater. It leans into what's wrong and lifts up what's right. It teaches, learns, discovers, imagines what could be, and brings it to life. Hope has to start somewhere. Why not here? Why not now? Why not us? The daring ones. Those who provoke possible, trigger curiosity, and incite joy. For us, hope is more than a word. It's a force, and we are its humble ambassadors. From the beginning to now, we don't just believe in hope, we dare to live it. Hope College. Dare to hope.
Hello, and welcome to Hope College. Here at Hope, we believe in the power of a broad liberal arts education where learning is not confined to the classroom. Our students get plenty of personal attention and can participate in many creative activities. At Hope, learning doesn't just prepare you for a degree, it prepares you for life.
Our academics lay the foundation for success, but it's our student life that truly brings the college experience to the next level, offering countless ways to get involved outside of the classroom. Our residential halls offer a strong community with residential assistants here to support students throughout their years of college. Here in downtown Holland, a block away from campus, there are many coffee shops, restaurants, and stores. Holland State Park is a short drive away from campus and is a beautiful place for a sunset in all 4 seasons or a swim early in the school year.
Faith Life at Hope is unique in that it takes a fully invitational approach. Hope College as an institution is decidedly Christian, but invites students of all faith backgrounds to be a part of Faith Life. We hope to see you on campus soon. Bye!
Gentex is a tech company supplying electro-optical products to the global automotive, aerospace, and fire protection industries. With focused competencies in design, vision, displays, software, and more, we're always looking for engineering talent. For our direct hire hourly production positions, we run open interviews Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at our 58 East Riley facility in Zeeland. And our facilities, benefits, and culture are everything you'd expect from a world-class employer. Now's the time to join Team Gentex.
If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. I kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, you know I do it for the glory. Hey, the glory. Hey, hey, when I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory.
As darkness gives way to light, before backpacks are zipped and the first class begins, grateful hands are already at work. Every act seen and unseen is done to bring hope. Bolts tightened, lessons planned, floors mopped, cookies baked, baked and baked and baked and baked. So many cookies. But these acts are not without purpose. These are the little moments that build hope. Lawns mowed, light bulbs changed, prayers spoken, phones answered, minds challenged, kindness shown. This is how we keep hope moving, with warm smiles, open doors, peace of mind, and a campus that shines. Because within these walls, the next generation of hope bringers is being formed. And it's our privilege to make this place a home they can be proud of. So to all the ones who make this place what it is, thank you. And go Hope.
The reality is that the college years, although short, are an incredibly pivotal time in a young person's life to figure out who they are, what they believe, and what God's calling them to do in their life. Our desire here at Hope is that every freshman that enters as a young 18-year-old, 17-year-old will leave as a senior knowing their true identity and worth is in the eyes of what God says about them as a child of God, as God's beloved, and as they are made in God's image, and that is beautiful and enough. That is what I love about the community of Hope, whether it's in the classroom, on the pitch, or on the court, in the dorm, or in chapel. They are learning that this is a faithful space, a welcoming space, and ultimately a space that is transforming them slowly but surely into what God is calling them to be.
Hi, my name is Olivia Bellows.
I'm Jalil Williams. My name is Connor Vachon.
Hi, I'm Grace Connolly.
Hi, my name is Cole Lumen. I'm Nolan Holtrip.
Hey, I'm Gabby, and I'm a senior.
I'm a senior.
I'm a senior on the women's softball team.
I'm on the football team.
And I'm a senior on the men's hockey teams. I'm a senior at Hope College, and I coach men's basketball.
And I'm on the women's soccer team.
I'm a senior at Hope College, and I'm on the women's basketball team.
One of my biggest obstacles here at Hope College was my junior year. I was cut from men's basketball team, and it really shook up where I placed my identity and where I found my purpose.
I really struggled with the transition from high school to college.
Winter of my freshman year, I lost a loved one who was very close to me. I feel like this left me questioning God and feeling very lost. I wondered how he could possibly be present in a time that felt so terrible to me.
In my early years of being on the team, I struggled with letting my pride get in the way.
And welcome back to halftime here in the Lakeshore DeVos Fieldhouse. Beautiful setting tonight, not snowing. We'll take that. It's been the exception rather than the norm. With Matt Wayner, I'm Mike Coleman, 36-33. Matt, Hope with the three-point lead despite a few things. They're shooting well. Let's do that. Let's talk about the good things for Hope. Hope shooting the ball well. And they're shooting the three-point well. They've got into foul trouble, which has not helped them. And they are getting out-rebounded by Kalamazoo and turning the ball over a bit more. Your thoughts of the first half?
Yeah, it really kind of comes down to Howell and Yant haven't really played.
Right.
Howell's got 3 fouls, Yant has 2, and in this game when they need to be able to dominate the down low and as a big, like, they just haven't played that much. So I just kind of think they're going to have to play through it, and they're going to have to play smart with fouls here in the second half because, I mean, whoever you can find, they're going to need to find somebody tough that can get in there and make things hard on Kalamazoo because you can't let Kalamazoo push you around, period.
Kalamazoo looking for their first win since early December. They have not won a conference game. So, Matt, last time Kalamazoo faced Hope, Yant only played 10 minutes. He had 10 points in those 10 minutes. He has 6 points in 9 minutes in this game. But, you know, Greg Mitchell's gone with 13 players so far in the first half. I mean, is there an argument for just riding Howell and Yant as far as you can go because we haven't seen them anyway? I wonder if the strategy will change a little bit in the second half.
I'm interested to see. I could see it going either way. My guess is that they'll likely start here in this second half, and then they'll probably come out quickly, especially if one gets another foul. But I mean, I think they're going to start them and then just see how far they can go, and hopefully you can maintain a lead at some point and be able to control the tempo here in the second half. I think we're just going to see a different pace here with Hope. They start off in the first couple minutes, but they had a 10-5 run to start this game, Mike. They were really controlling the tempo quickly. Since then, Kalamazoo has really settled into a much slower pace that's playing to their advantage.
Absolutely true. Hope's biggest lead was 21-14 at the 11-minute mark, and ever since then, Kalamazoo has outscored Hope 19-15 the rest of the way. Some things I have liked: Hope College with 7 points off 4 Kalamazoo turnovers. And Matt, if you're Hope defensively, you got to try and force more turnovers to the worst ball handling team in the Hornets in the MIAA.
And it's what you do best. They're the best in the MIAA in turnover margin per game, meaning they force 15 turnovers a game and they only give 13. So a team that doesn't take care of the ball and you've only turned them over 4 times is absolutely kind of a point of emphasis here on defense, especially when it looked like Hope had an opportunity to pull this game away, up 21-14 there in the first half with 7 to play, and they had turned 3 defensive possessions to offense. Since then, they've just been totally quiet.
You look at the numbers in the first half: Hope 48% shooting, 50% from deep. Kalamazoo 43% shooting, just 3 of 11 from deep. By those numbers, you would think Hope was up by double digits. Numbers don't lie.
Totally agree. I expect Hope to kind of come out with a little bit of a different pace here, so we'll see.
Same starters for both sides. Brendan Cargill once again in his 6th straight game in double figures with 11. And for the Kalamazoo Hornets, 8 points by Lucas Hannafin, 7 for J.J. Stevens off the bench. He's had a good first half. Trine playing Albion tonight, Alma Olivet, and the 3-ball short by Vanderbilt, filled by Warman, and Calvin running away from Adrian late in the first half. And here it's 3-point lead for Hope, just underway second half. Glad he could join us. Mims for the Flying Dutchman. Over to Warman, trying to feed Hausen, playing with 3 fouls. Warman might have got away with a hack on him, and the follow through Orion Yant. And that's what we have expected out of the sophomore.
But what you need him to be as well. You're fine with that shot all day. Let him shoot that. It's totally okay, Mike.
Yant with his 3rd rebound. Yant now with 8 points. Gives Hope their biggest lead since the 7-point lead at the 11-minute mark, 38-33.
Cargill, don't force the offense. Keep letting it go through things. He's done a good job of that. Had a lot of maturity as a freshman. Just hope that he doesn't try to make it only him trying to find a shot. There's Mims again.
Talk about manufacturing a shot. Spun and back down Bandemer. Mims a little more physical, and Marcus, or Justice, excuse me, with 4 points. Streaking inside. Sampa might have got away with a travel.
Got away with a travel.
He converts. First basket of the second half for the Hornets at the 18-23 mark. Nick Chiard in his 7th season. His best finish in MIAA was 7th, but he's been one of the more successful Kalamazoo coaches in the last 20-25 years. Inside. Howell, kick out. Marcus, deep 3-ball off the side. And we're going to have a push-off foul.
I think they're going to get that on Bandemer. Yeah.
And Bandemer went on his backside, but Carter with a push-off. Bandemer's first. 2 fouls for Nelson Sampa for Kalamazoo. Nobody with more than that. Not a shooting foul, so Hope will inbound. Tipped away. Boy, Mims goes crashing into the small student section. Make sure the student's all right. Yeah, influence that as Sampa went up to the summit, and Yant's going to get pegged for his 3rd personal. I don't know, Matt Wayne. It looked pretty clean as we'll check the replay. Inconclusive.
Sorry, I was seeing over Mims had accidentally injured somebody in the stands over there, so I was just watching that. I got a little bit distracted for a second. But
oh, I think that's it's Dakota who helps out. Dakota Tomac, who helps out at the score table.
Looks like he's okay.
He's all right. Justice Winnan. We've had 3 Hope players going to the stands. Yant checks out with 3 fouls. Newhouse in. Well, we've got 2 minutes and 12 seconds out of Orion Yant before he picks up foul number 3. Big smile on his face as he heads to the bench. So he's played 11 minutes. Are you surprised we haven't seen more of Kyle Block?
I am, and I wonder if that is injury related or something else, because they need his physical presence pretty bad right now.
3-quarter press by Kalamazoo, trying to pick up their first win in 12 games, 0-8 in conference play. Their best win of the year was over Wabash. Justice Mims downtown for 3.
Big by Justice.
Give him 7.
Yant here out of the game, and these are big Newhouse minutes here. Need him defensively.
Newhouse 10 minutes, 2 points. Kookie. Newhouse on him.
Yeah, that's good. Live with that, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Kookie does. Instead of driving in, he'll settle for the step back.
Which is totally fine. NBA range.
Whew. Offensive rebound. Mims with another board, gave him 3.
Mims has taken this to another level. Last 3 minutes, he's been the most important player on the court.
Cargill had a nice skip past him, tried the razzle-dazzle, couldn't connect on the reverse layup as Carter Bandemer in stride, and the Chelsea senior knocks it down 42-39 Hope. Bandemer 2 for 5 from deep, give him 8. He matches Hannafin for the Hornet team high. Howell comes out topside between the anchor and the top of the circle. Kookie on him, 16:20 left. I've been impressed, Matt, with Kalamazoo. They've had good spurts of defense.
I am too, especially the way that they're limiting Hope from when they get up 6, they get it back to 3 really quick. And that's a credit to a team that hasn't been that good all year, and they've been able to really keep Hope at bay.
And we got a reach-in foul. I think that will go against Howell for Hope, and if that's the case, that is Charles Howell's 4th foul with 16:02 left to play. Just what you didn't want. I don't know.
I don't think they put that on Howell.
Oh, you're right. They did not. I stand corrected. It was on Connor Kuki.
It was like a clear out foul. It looked like offensive.
Inside, Newhouse, double team. He's got Kiefer on him.
With it. Come on, baby.
Spin move high off the window. Contact. And Simon Newhouse will go to the line. Good move by the junior out of East Grand Rapids.
I like that. Now you can have an opportunity at the free throw line. But, Mike, right now it's just Hope in a game where you're up 6, you're starting to get some rhythm, and then Bannerman hits that 3, and it's like it just quiets them. It's like when that challenge hits you in the mouth, I mean, you got to take to it. In other games this season, they've really done a great job of answering the bell. Trine is one that comes to mind, as well as it was even against Calvin, the way that once they got punched in the mouth, they're able to punch them back, and right now they're kind of playing right into Kalamazoo's hands.
Hope College scoreless in their last 2 minutes. They've missed 4 of their last 5 shots, clinging to a 3-point lead. Any illusions that we thought this would be a blowout runaway was something that we didn't even theorize, because Kalamazoo always plays Hope hard. It is their marquee set of games during the course of the season. And Kalamazoo's not shooting great, just 43%, but they're winning the rebound battle, and they're tied in points in the paint and just creating enough havoc. I like the fact that Kalamazoo is contesting on the wings, and when they do that, it kind of disrupts the guard play, and the guards are having trouble getting some penetration.
They're not hitting enough three-pointers for it to really matter right now, Mike, but they're ending droughts, which is big. They're not going 5 straight minutes without a point. I mean, Hope right now scoreless in their last 2 minutes. So those droughts are really killing Hope right now from being able to get some sort of 8 to 10 point lead and be able to maintain it.
Hope, Charles Howell and Orion Yant playing, is currently sitting at 3 fouls apiece. 2 fouls for Nelson Sampa. Nobody else having more than 1 foul in this one. While we have a moment, let's get an update from Angola, Indiana. Early on, second half, Trine with an 11-point lead over Albion. Is Trine shooting 50% in the game to just 28% for the Albion Britons. Calvin with an early lead. They have sustained it. 6:37 left to go in the first half. Calvin up 12 on Adrian, 34-22. And Olivet leads Alma 32-19, closing 3.5 minutes left in that one.
They're playing so well right now, Mike.
That is a deep, loose team. They've got some great three-point shooters. Sam Howard has been absolutely on fire for them. Levi Stambaugh, Nathan Richardson had a tremendous game against Calvin in that victory. And here it's 42-39. Brendan Cargill with 11, looking for his first points of the second half. Orion Yan on the bench with 6 points. Sanchez with 5 off the bench. Mims with 6. Warman with 5. Quiet night for Warman. 8 points for Vandermeer and Hannafin. 7 for J.J. Stevens off the bench. Both teams with 11 bench points in this game. 14 for 20 on the year for Simon Newhouse. Steps to the line. Misses the first 2 strong. This would be a marquee upset for Kalamazoo. Would really shake things up, as splitting the pair is Newhouse. (43-39). Contact. Carlson with the reach in. Hannafin so shifty. I like Hannafin. He's 5'10", but when you got a football player on the basketball court, regardless of the size, they got that extra bit of strength to them, do they not?
Yeah, I like that too. And as we see Rigg here, are those his first minutes, Mike?
They are. Jarrett Rigg, the sophomore out of Arlington Heights, Illinois, John Hersey High School. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I like Hannafin too, from what you were saying. I mean, he's physical for his size, although he's not very tall. He's got a pretty natural ability to score.
Yeah, he really does. He manufactures, he can drive, and that was a nifty move by Bandemer. He's got 10 points in double figures for the first time in his career against Hope. We are going back to Jared Rigg. He had a 9-point stretch in his last game here at home in 90 seconds. Step back Newhouse. Pretty move by the junior out of East GR. Carlson trying to disrupt the baseball pass with a 4-point lead, and that'll stay with Kazoo.
Good job there by Carlson. Just knocked off his head to go out of bounds.
Here's Sean Weselick, the freshman. We talked about 6'6" freshman out of Bay City, John Glenn.
How quickly can you get Yant and Howell in the game together is what I want to know.
And we got contact down low. Hope wanted a travel call. They're going to call that on Sanchez, the freshman. Boy, what a pedigree. Avery Sanchez coming in to his freshman season with Hope, the all-time leading 3-point shooter and 3-point percentage shooter for John H. Pittman High School. Stevens, free throw line. He's got Weselick on him, trying to muscle him high up the window, and Stevens, a senior over the freshman.
He's made some tough shots today, Mike.
He's always been one of the more consistent Hornet players for Nick Giard. 2-point lead for Hope. A lot of time remaining for both clubs. Rigg picks up the dribble. We're seeing that zone once again being employed. Newhouse trying to feed turnover. Hope their 7th of the game. Like Matt said, Kalamazoo playing very loose.
No box out there.
No, Bandemer got his own miss. Kick out, 3-ball on the way. Kiefer no good. And now we got a over-the-shoulder call against Jackson Kiefer.
They needed that. Bailed them out a little bit, Mike. I mean, like I said, they got some changes to make here in these last couple of minutes. I mean, missing that box out, it's little things that they're just not doing at a high level. Not things that are going to show up in the stat sheet as much as just little box outs. It's defensive switches. It's communicating through things.
Agreed.
You could say they're playing to Kalamazoo's level tonight.
Agreed. Kalamazoo holding their own rebound. They're not a great rebounding team and shooting a little bit better than their average overall, but they're winning the little things like you alluded to. Cargill back in the game. Rigg in traffic. Cargill streaking. Shovel pass inside to Yant, and he drops it down.
So easy for him down there, Mike. So easy down there, that mismatch.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if Greg Mitchell just rode Orion Yant to the end, got what he could out of him. Maybe Hope can go on another 16-4 run they did in the second half against Kalamazoo in the last meeting.
And a block by Orion again.
Doing it on both ends of the court. Cargill coughs it up.
Oh my, Yant blocked that puppy.
You heard that on the rim, Mike, and Yant blocked it, but a second chance effort makes it a 2-point lead. Rigg, awkward off balance shot, had a seam. Yant fighting for the offensive rebound. We got a tie up, and that'll favor Hope College. With 12:55 left. Looking at that
block.
replay.
Where did he come from?
He came flying in from the free throw line, and Kiefer with
and
the
a gamble too. He could have gotten his 4th foul.
There is no halfway switch for Orion Yant.
That's why he gets 4 fouls a game.
He's like, if you remember Tanner Wegerink, a fantastic player a few years ago. Tanner's only consistent one was how many times he would have the foul and put back. Santa Maria!
Orion has his fingerprints all over this one, Mike.
He went up to the belt of Orion to put that one back down. Came in from the stars. With authority. Stevens, kick out.
Live with it.
Kookie misses badly. We'll take that one. Hope on the run, trying to get a little momentum. Sanchez, deep three. Yahtzee! 5-point run for the Flying Dutchman, their biggest lead since halfway in the first half. Perez. And Yan had to give him purchase after he beat him on the step. It's okay.
Have to with 3 fouls on that situation.
7 for Perez. Perez will give you 10 a game, second leading scorer. I said he was the leading scorer. He's behind Hannafin. Good push shot by Yan, just missing as he tries to chase down his miss. Kalamazoo playing with a little momentum as Sanchez, I think he was caught in the half circle, and Sanchez will get pegged for the personal. For Avery, that is his second. Timeout. Let's take a timeout. Hope up by 5 with 11:43 remaining. Here from Hope on the Anchor Network.
Here, DeVos 52-47, Mike. Just under 12 to play. And how about Orion in this last stretch here? Off this putback, look at that replay. We're going to remember that for years, man. And on the block, he's just been all over the map in this one.
And then Sanchez with a wonderful 3 ball that he drops down for his second 3 ball of the day. Yeah, Orion Yant just put a highlight film together in the last 90 seconds that any player would like that as their full season of work. Spectacular athlete. But Hope has other things to think about besides the highlight reels. They're up by 4. And J.J. Stevens has really been the player of the game for Kalamazoo off the bench with 10. Check that, 11. Not a lot of free throws in this game. Cargill closing quickly. Split the D, throws up a prayer, and Yant with the tip in is not going to count. I think the foul, well, who are they going to call that? I think that's going to go against Van Sumeren.
They calling that on the floor.
Is that right?
Yeah, got it on the floor.
Okay. Matt Wayner with the coaches speak, putting into a language I can understand. Turnover, Hope their 9th. Van Sumeren, Puppy misses it. Hope catches a break. I've been impressed with Kalamazoo pushing the pace. I did not expect that.
Me too. I mean, them being able to get back in transition, like I said in the pregame, that's been really big for them. But they're not allowing Hope to get easy buckets.
Well, they've been pretty stout on the wing as Mims looking for some movement with a head bob. Mims has to just do a turnaround, not the shot he wanted. By the way, Yant and Howell on the floor at the same time that Matt was wondering about for Hope. That's going to stay with Kalamazoo.
We got that a little earlier than I expected. Still 11 to play here. They're going to play two bigs with 3 fouls. Sanchez with 2 fouls on the court too.
Right. Good pull.
Looks like Werman's going to take his spot.
Marcus with 5 points on 2 of 9 shooting. Marcus has had a quiet game, not so much points, but it doesn't seem like he's taken 9 field goal attempts.
No, it hasn't. It's been so much Perez. Right in the last few minutes, they've just been going to that hand.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I don't think Marcus real happy with this performance here so far, but he's got 10 minutes to turn things around. Good steal by Yant. Going the other way.
Boy, Yant's kind of a Euro step. He sold a pseudo pass and he kisses it sweetly off the glass. Yant with 14, coming off a career high day against Adrian in points and rebounds, and Warman with a block, and the Bluebirds come out. Foul will be on the senior Marcus Warman. And the worst shooting free throw team to the line. Down by 5. Boy, they look clean.
Hasn't been a super foul-ridden game so far here. There's still 10 minutes left, Mike, but Hope with 12 so far in this one, and Kalamazoo just 9, but neither team got to the bonus in the first half.
No.
And just 5 and 4 fouls respectively here in the second.
Hannafin, a 69% free throw shooter. This is the first 5 for 7 for Kalamazoo from the stripe. Hope 4 of 6, so that is not factored in. Hope only had 11 free throw attempts in the win at Kalamazoo on the 21st. Hannafin splits the pair. His first point in quite a while.
Something standing out to me now, Mike, is in that first game, Hope had 52 bench points at Kalamazoo.
Is that right?
And they only have 17 here tonight.
And that was with starter Parker Hovey with a 23-point performance in that. Boy, I hope Sanchez steps on the sideline. Turnover number 10. Kalamazoo, I just don't have a comfortable feeling the Hornets just hanging around.
I know. I was just thinking that same thing. Up 4 here. Can you extend it to 10 once here going down the stretch? It's what you need to do. Kalamazoo, credit to them. They've done an awesome job being able to keep Hope at bay and get 6-point leads down to 3 in a matter of seconds.
Kiefer open look. He had 3 in the loss the last go around. Well, Hope was down by 3 to Adrian with 10 minutes left last Saturday, and they pull it out with a 10-point victory. So they're no stranger to being in this situation. High screen, hook pass, Sanchez. Mims tries to work baseline, got a step on Vandenberg. Sanchez, 3-ball, skims off. Offensive rebound, one-handed by Howell. Out of bounds, it'll stay with Hope of 19 to shoot. You know, that's a great look by Sanchez, wide open. Just couldn't hit the shot.
Well, an even better offensive rebound there by Howell.
One-handed.
Coach Mitchell wanted Howell to just go right up with it.
I think you have to if you're down there. I mean, Carlson back in the game for Hope, the senior. Seeing the zone once again being employed by Kalamazoo. Hook pass down low. Yant tried to feed Carlson.
Yeah, Yant just tried to force that down through that zone. Hope gets the ball back. What do you know?
Boy, that just squirted out to Warman. 3 seconds to shoot. So we got a stoppage of play. They're going to reset with a new shot clock. I'm not sure what the call is, Matt.
I think he said out of bounds on that when they were scrumming around on the ground. I think he had him out of bounds.
Okay, so that would stop the clock. That's great vision by the referee to know that there was 18 on the shot clock. Do you know if a referee in particular is poised to keep that in his?
I think that's always the
cue?
first look is on that shot clock, because at the Division I level, you're going to have clocks on everything.
Warman!
Wow.
Downtown from Justice on the feed. That was huge.
Coach Chiard not going to be happy with how that out of bounds play turns into 3 points. Hope with their biggest lead of the game. And then again, Perez knocks it to 5.
Yeah, he's having a good second half. Give him 11. He leads the Hornets. 57-52.
Hope just can't put these guys away.
Nope. Mims might have got away with a travel, and he bangs one off the window. Timeout, Hope. We'll keep it here with 8:37 left. Well, Hope's kind of in a game where you got a guy sitting next to you just kind of tapping you in the shoulder a 1,000 times.
Keeping it at you. How about Kalamazoo? 1 for their last 9 from 3. And Orion Yant 7 of 8 from field goal here today. Perez 4 of his last 5 from the field. I mean, I've been most impressed by anything right now is Perez right now in the second half. His poise when he gets the ball and he gets a one-on-one, he's just going right to the basket. He's got seniority as the junior, but anytime that he gets Howell or Yant, he's just attacking the basket. Trusts his ability to hit free throws, and he wants to get those guys fouled out of the game.
He and Yant could not be closer together. They're both 6'6", 6'5", 6'6", very quick. Not really centers per se, but they move in that realm. As looking at the numbers, Hope shooting 53% in the second half, 49 overall. Kalamazoo 43%, 41 in the second half. Hope winning the rebounding battle now by 7, advantage by 2 in the offensive rebounds. Points in the paint, 32 for KZ, 32 for Hope. And turnovers, 10 for Hope, 6 for Kalamazoo. Credit the Hornets, they're taking care of the basketball. Updated from Angola. Trine running away from Albion 50-34. Britain's shooting just 31%. Olivet at home against Alma, 38-24 at halftime, and Calvin rolling Adrian 48-31 at half. And here it's 59-52. Hope has matched their biggest lead of the night. Perez trying to back up Yant. Inside, Stevens got purchased. Good defense by Yant. Shot clock at 8. Skip pass inside. Boy, Perez and Stevens work so well together.
Stevens, good game for him as well. He's got 11, Mike. And just any time they needed to, it's just felt like Kalamazoo's been able to get a bucket.
Agreed. That breaks a 1-for-9 field goal streak for Kalamazoo. Hope with a 5-point advantage. Warman step back mid-range, skirts off, offensive rebound. Carlson keeps it alive.
The steal there, that's good hands by Sompa.
Yeah, Sompa's, he's so lightning quick. Kiefer lost in the corner, break Hope. Vandenberg looks to check back in for the Hornets at the 7:33 mark. Time into the court. We'll take a quick one as we look at that bobble and a break for Hope. On the Anchor Network, Hope up by 5.
Holland BPW is proud to support Hope Athletics and commitment to energy efficiency. It's easy for Holland BPW electric customers to get started with Home Energy 101 at hollandenergyfund.com. With Home Energy 101, learn the best ways to maximize efficiency and save on your utility bills. You also get a kit of energy-saving supplies valued at up to $300. Get started at hollandenergyfund.com today.
Welcome back to DeVos Fieldhouse, a Flying Dutchman at Alma this coming Saturday. That's a 3 o'clock start. And then they'll be at Trine a week from tonight. That's always tough, those Wednesday road games. That's the 7:30 start. We'll be back February 14th. That's Senior Day as Hope hosts the University of Olivet, a team they are currently, as of today, tied for first in the MIAA with an MIAA record of 7-1. Before they finish at Albion and at Calvin. So a tough road to hoe, but still as difficult as Hope trying to close out Kalamazoo with 7 and change left here at home.
This game really big for Hope to be able to start to pull away and be able to get it when you see Olivet with a big lead, Calvin with a big lead, and Trine with a big lead. All three of those teams are nipping at your heels.
They are nipping.
For first in place Hope College.
Trine a game back in third place. Calvin 2 games back out of first with 3 losses. They've lost 3 of 4. Newhouse in the game once again for Hope. Flying Dutchman ride with Carlson, Werman, Mims, Yant, and Newhouse. Warman off the mark. Tipped away in a rebound by Hannafin. Kiefer, quick trigger, 3 short. Chased down by Warman. Good rebound, give him 3. And he'll just take it over the big anchor with 6:49 and counting. Hope up by 5, 59-54.
Hope is out rebounding Kalamazoo. Like we said, it was going to be important. It was 11 in the first game. It's been 7 so far in this one. So pretty typical. They just got some work to do to be able to kind of pull this away. Newhouse can't get that one in.
Yeah, Newhouse got a feed down low. He had to shift a little bit, and he misses a baby. Man defense, Hannafin trying to work on Yant high off the window. Hannafin converts. Boy, that high release. Dead off the glass, and Hannafin's first basket since halfway through the first half.
Really nice 11. That Yant didn't get called for something there on the body as well.
Yant with 14 in 19 minutes. Yant working on Perez, and Yant misses it from 3. Offensive rebound, Werman put back on the window. Too strong.
Hope now scoreless in 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Kalamazoo comes away empty. Yant, Euro, yes sir! 61% shooter in his last 5, and Yant 8 of 10 tonight. Gives Hope a little bit of breathing room. Just 1 for their last 11 from 3, as Kalamazoo has not been able to buy more than 1 3-point shot made in the second half. 2-possession lead for Hope, clock becoming a factor. Hope won 74-66 their last go around. Deep in the backcourt is Mims off the high screen, splits the D. Mims, good recovery to try and knock it off Sampa. Is that going to stay with Hope? I think it is.
They call it a stay on Hope, but they want to go to the replay. See if they get an opportunity for it.
Well, we'll see if they do, as Cargill back in the game, Charles Howell back in the game, and Avery Sanchez for the Flying Dutchman. Can you use replay in D3?
You can, yeah, and the rules are a little bit tricky. Looks like the coaching staff was deliberating on that. I think it still is up to ref's discretion, and it has to be on a dead ball play.
Boy, backdoor cut. Mims at the buzzer!
Oh, my! How'd they get that to go?
No idea.
That was Yant.
Oh, that was Yant. I beg your pardon, but it was a lob pass far side. Hannafin gets hammered by Cargill. That's a good foul. Cargill had 1 to give. They're going to make Hannafin earn it at the line.
Yeah, that is a good foul. If we can see that replay there. Hope up 7 here. Man, what a stretch by Orion.
Amazing. He only played 9 minutes in the first half. There's that lob pass on the inbound to Yant streaking from the far baseline. That's a wrinkle we have not seen. And Yant using his quickness as Hannafin, 69% shooter, makes that first free throw. Is Warman back in for Hope. Yant now 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 blocks in 20 minutes. Mims checks out with 8 points and 5 rebounds. Good effort by Mims once again against the Kalamazoo uniform.
Those 4 blocks have been massive for Orion as well. It seemed like they've come at really big moments, especially somebody with 3 fouls.
You know, Hope College without Parker Hovey tonight, but Yant and Hovey are in the top 3 in shot blocks per game. That's a nice intangible to have. Hope up by 5. Cargill, kick out. Sanchez goes baseline, step back, 18-footer. Sanchez, the newbie, with a drop down. Big play by Avery, give him 10. Second straight game, he's in mid-double digits. Kuki, topside to Bandemer. Perez, you'll keep him on the perimeter, not a great 3-point shooter. Clock at 4 minutes. Sampa thought about the 3. Bandemer can fill it. He's got a couple tonight. Deep 3 ball. Court forcing a bad shot. Shot clock violation as that first shot of it, and Matt didn't hit the rim, and that's going to go in Hope's favor. 7-point lead. Hope has just not been able to get that big run, and a timeout on the court. A meaning timeout. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back shortly on the Anchor Network.
Gentex is a tech company supplying electro-optical products to the global automotive, aerospace, and fire protection industries. With focused competencies in design, vision, displays, software, and more, we're always looking for engineering talent. For our direct hire hourly production positions, we run open interviews Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at our 58 East Riley facility in Zeeland. And our facilities, benefits, and culture are everything you'd expect from a world-class employer. Now's the time to join Team Gentex.
Looking at the numbers, Matt Wayner with Mike Coleman. Matt, what do you see?
Well, I see Orion 18 on just 11
high,
shots.
by the way.
Man, and every bit of it, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, like we said. He's really taken over here in the second half. Up 7, it's not safe yet, Mike. We still got just under 4 to play. But they've started to really demand their will, and you see the trust that Coach Mitchell has in both him and Howell playing huge minutes here down the stretch. The game with both of them in foul trouble. And I also see, I mean, Kalamazoo has really gone cold from three-point range. 1 of 9 here in the second half, 4 of 20 on the day. So they've been pretty inefficient. And that's next to us to our right. They're teasing Scott Vanderstoom for putting him on the
ultimate broadcast.
Scott Vanderstoom, look at him, he's all decked out. You know, he's my.
You guys get hurt.
He's my broadcast partner in football, and I guess his contract calls for plenty of FaceTime. So
they must have told him one of us might be going down in a couple minutes. He's got to take the headset.
Yeah, if you get a cloth on your face, don't breathe in. Cargill in traffic, and he lays it up with a finger roll. Cargill's first basket couldn't come at a better time. Gives Hope their biggest lead of the night. 67-58. Little 15-9 run for the Flying Dutchman has created some separation.
And how about Hope now? 4 of their last 5, and Kalamazoo just 1 of their last 5. So the most timely as timely as it possibly could have been, Mike, in this one. Hope up 9 with 3 to play.
Well, you knew they had a run in them. We're talking about the Flying Dutchman. And they have the last game against Adrian and the last game against Kalamazoo, that 16-4 run in the first 5 minutes of the second half. There's a free throw, pongs off, and 2 Hope players knock it out of bounds. It'll stay with Kazoo off to our right.
Albion making a little run on try now, just down 13, cut that lead down. They've made 3 in a row here, trying being scoreless the last couple minutes.
Thank you, Matthew. Olivet still with a 15-point lead over Alma. Olivet tied with Hope for first. 3-ball on the way by Stevens. Tipped in the hands of Kookie. Good save by Warman, and Howell comes away with it. Boy, Marcus, tough night offensively, but I tell you, he's been scrappy. Heads up play defensively. That's what a senior leader will do for you.
You're absolutely right. That's what you need from your star senior guard. When you need a bucket, you get it. And here's Orion. That's the mismatch they want.
Yant tied up with Kookie. That's going to be a foul on Connor Kookie. 6'8" junior, the tallest player on the roster. Check that. Gavin Van Kampen is a 6'9" sophomore out of Jonesville that we have not seen. Is Yant to the line, trying to extend the biggest lead of the night for the Flying Dutchman. Already working on a career night for Orion Yant. 56% from the shooter from the free throw line in volume. Give Yant 19. He had a career high 17 points and 10 rebounds, both career highs in his last game on Saturday. Double figures now 5 times in his last 6 games. The second one falls away.
Really the only thing he hasn't done that well this year is shoot the free throw.
Right, not great. We'll take it. Perez in traffic down, little baby hook over Yant, who had to give him some purchase.
I like having Sanchez in here for the last 2:30, Mike. Really important to have a good free throw shooter and a good ball handler, but that one plays against me there.
Hannafin strips and then had the ball stripped by Warman, and they're going to give it to Hope. That was a great play by Hannafin to rob Sanchez, and then Warman back on the other end for a second straight great defensive play.
Huge, like you said, in a game where the shot is not falling for him. He's just 3 for 12 from the field. 2 massive defensive possessions for Warman.
That was a great steal by Hannafin.
Kalamazoo tried to get that trap.
Yep.
Hope's going to milk down the shot clock, find something.
Inside 2 minutes left, 3 possession lead for the Flying Dutchman. Yant on Stevens, turnaround, flip shot, bangs one home.
He's on fire. He's got 21.
Hitting the 20 mark plus for the first time in his career. Sampa inside. Stevens, nice move by JJ. Timeout Nick Giard, $1:22 left. Let's keep it here. Coming up in the post game, we like to have a player interview, especially when Hope wins, and I think rumor has it we're going to try and snag sophomore Orion Yant.
Yeah, I mean, Orion is for sure my player of the game here in this one. Is Hope up 8 here, Mike, and I think Orion for sure player of the game here in this one. 21 points, and barring anything crazy here with 1:22 to play, he has been the straw that stirs the drink for Hope. How efficient, 10 of 12 from field goal range, and doing this all in the second half with 3 fouls.
Yeah, it's been amazing too. He only played 9 minutes in the first half. He's been able to play 15 out of the 18 minutes in the second half and only commit 1 foul. And really, he hasn't really backed off on the gas pedal as far as his aggressiveness. He's picked his spots, but I just really like the way he has read this game and has managed himself to stay in.
Completely agree. Can't wait to hear what he says, because there's everything I've heard. I haven't gotten to know Orion real well personally, as well as I've known Parker and some of the other players, but everything I hear from Coach Greg Mitchell is how good of a guy he is.
He certainly has a big motor, that's for sure. As 2 straight games now where Orion Yan has upped his career high. 17 on Saturday, 21 tonight on 10 of 12 shooting. I like the rebounding too for Hope. Cargill, Yant, and Mims with 5 rebounds each. Assists have been spread out for Kalamazoo, 13 for Hanovan and Perez and J.J. Stevens. So the 3 have contributed mightily to a very pesky Kalamazoo team tonight. Maybe just running out of time. Cargill and Sanchez both 80% plus free throw shooters. Warman was 84% as a freshman. As Hope playing keep away. Sanchez kick in the corner. Still 12 to shoot, plenty of time. Now we get a reach-in foul, and Brendan Cargill will, I'll check that, Kalamazoo with 1 foul to burn. 1 more will put Hope in the bonus. 1 more Kalamazoo foul. There's a reach-in on Hannafin, his second. So looking at the free throw numbers, like we said, Warman at 72%, Cargill at 89%, and Sanchez at 85%. 12 on the clock, shot clock. Cargill trying to dribble out of trouble. Kalamazoo bench saying no foul, and now Bandemer will foul Cargill. Not a smart foul, as Hope was down to the shot clock. So looking forward to a chat with sophomore Orion Yant, former Zeeland West product. Now we'll send an 89% free throw shooter to the line, and a rare miss. A putback by Yant, and 1! Well, that's a tough one to swallow if you're a coach. Had him down to the wire. And the first double-digit lead for either team tonight. Yan Anch is adding to his lore in this game. Hope playing their 3rd straight game without their leading scorer, Parker Hovey, as the 3-point play is complete. .39 seconds left, 73-62. Sampa for 3. Offensive rebound try by Stevens, and the rebound by Warman. Trying to poke it away as Perez, and Sanchez will go to the line. Avery Sanchez, 84%, and on the year has hit 18 of his last 19 free throws. Incredible.
That's who you want at the free throw line, Mike, and you're up 11. It was nerve-wracking at points here at home. I mean, when you thought, especially at halftime, I was like, man, Kalamazoo is totally outplaying Hope, but it was just a matter of time here in this one for Hope to start to pull away, and able to come out victorious and get to 8-1 here in the MIAA in a night where it looks like all the favorites are going to be winning. Hope needed it.
You know, Matt, Hope's going to lock this one up. I got to give credit to Hope's bench. As Yant checks out with 24 points on 11 of 13 shooting, 4 blocks and 6 rebounds. But I want to go back to the bench for Hope College in the first half when Howell and Yant were in foul trouble. They kept Hope in the game. Nothing spectacular, but minutes by Imey and Boltzma and Newhouse and Carlson came in. And I got to give them a big piece of this pie for this win.
You're absolutely right.
Hope's going to move to 8-1 as that one stripped, and that should do it. Well, the final score will be no indication how tough Kalamazoo played tonight.
No, you're right. But I think that last one right there by Marcus was really the nail in the coffin for him with 3, 4, I mean, massive defensive possessions down the stretch to pull away for Hope.
As Nick Giard and Greg Mitchell, a lot of respect for one another as players and coaches shake hands. 75-62.
And we'll have a little bit of a post game here, so we're going to take about a 30-second break. We'll bring it back here, get the post game, see if we can get Orion on to talk to us, and then we'll break down this one here on the Anchor Network. Be back in 30.
Yeah, my name is Travis Williams. I'm the CEO of the ODC Network. I graduated from Hope in 1998. I studied biology, and then I also played football. In order to be successful, people really need more than just the academic experience, but they need people to come alongside them and help coach them, mentor them. I find that Hope College has just been one of the best examples of being able to do that anywhere.
As an invested community partner, LVZ is proud to help share Hope stories of transformational impact.
If I do it, I'ma do it for the glory. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do it for me. Kill it every day up in the morning. It's a blessing, so I do it for the glory. The glory. The glory. You know I do it for the glory. The glory. When I do it, yeah, I do it for the glory.
It's no secret. The best way to learn about Hope College is to spend time on our campus. The Hope admissions team invites you to a personalized visit experience you won't forget. Located in downtown Holland, Michigan, our historic campus is close to shopping and dining and just 10 minutes from Lake Michigan. We invite you to check out our campus tour options or sign up for an online tour with the Hope admissions office. There's never been a better time to see Hope College. Visit us at hope.edu/admissions.
There is a school whose namesake is not a founder, not a historical figure, not a state, city, or physical landmark. It is named after an ideal, a virtue, a way of life. Its name is Hope.
Back here at DeVos, Matt Winter here alongside Orion. Yet our player of the game here, man, career high in points. What a fantastic game. And here in this one down the stretch, man, you had 24 points, 6 rebounds, 4 blocks. What was kind of going through your mind down the stretch? I mean, you had 3 fouls. We had, 15 to play. Yeah. What was going through your mind when you're on the bench being like, man, how can I get back in this game?
I mean, it sucks sitting on the bench. We're obviously working on my fouls, but yeah, when you get in that mode of just all you want to do is help the team, it sucks when you're stuck on the bench. So right. When I get in that mode, I just gotta help, others be better. So I'm talking to the bigs who are going in. One of my guys, Sean Westlock, he's a freshman here. He's playing very well. Yeah. He's stepping up, and so just trying to make others better when I can't be there for my team is the best part.
What was going through your mind? I mean, down the stretch there, there was 3 possessions here in a row. It was a 2-pointer by you, a block on the other end, and then you get the putback. At that point, starting to get some momentum, able to be that spark plug for your team. What was going on in the huddle a little bit for you guys? What were the things you guys were focused on?
Just being us. That's our focus every game. We do a really good job in that. We don't really focus on the other team that much. Obviously, prep, we're there, but in the huddle, it's us. There's no one I'd rather have in there. So we're talking, we're getting through, we're figuring out how to score on, different sets and different zones, and, man, it's incredible. You should really hear Coach Mitch talk sometime.
Yeah. We know Coach Mitchell well. We've known him for a long time, and he said so much about you and the heart that you have for this team. So, when it's you, and you were talking about some of the other bigs, so was it in the game plan kind of pregame that you guys were like, all right, as bigs, we got to feed down low. We got to be ready for the ball. We got to be able to put the ball, because you guys able to get in control of the paint is kind of what took you to the moon there in the second half.
Yeah, we definitely have a focus, an emphasis on getting to the paint, because, we're going to be a lot more tougher than other teams we play, and that's like our focal point because, you know, we got guys like Justice Mims who are going to get in there, and if you're not careful, you're going to catch an elbow or two.
Right,
so
yeah.
Naturally, you know, we try and force teams. It's like, okay, come guard us where we're at our best. So, you know, we got aggressive play, so that's really nice.
And a credit to Kay. They played hard. They played tough all day.
They're very good. They're not, I don't know what their record is, but their record does not show how good they actually are.
We were talking about that as well. They're winless in conference, but every game is a tough one, and you guys got a stretch here coming up as well. So when you look ahead, looking for some vengeance on Calvin in the future as well, I see. So what's your guys' focus here in these next few as you are, you know, still a little bit unsure if Parker's going to be back?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Parker, that's an All-American, you know. He's amazing. He's incredible. But, yeah, so we're without him. Hopefully he can return, but if he doesn't, we just got to keep being us. We have incredible players on our team and incredible coaching staff, and they make sure, like, we'll be good. You know?
For sure.
They always get us prepared properly.
Well, Orion, thanks so much, man. First of many. We can't wait to have you on again for your next one. Career high here, 24 points, four blocks, 6 rebounds. Fantastic game. Thanks again for coming on, and good luck here on Saturday at Alma.
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a little break. I'll get Mike here back on the broadcast. We'll break this one down here on the Anchor Network.
Shout out my little brother. I love you. All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Our students act as beacons of hope for their community. They lead with courage, conviction, patience, and strength. They're ready to change the world.
At Van Andel Institute, we're in a race, a relentless competition to get ahead of the diseases that affect our world. Cancer, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. We are at the forefront of research and discovery. Our global collaborations are a catalyst for big breakthroughs so that we can make the greatest impact on the health of current and future generations. Because in the race to prevent and cure some of the most insidious diseases, victory is the only option. Van Andel Institute, Innovation Unleashed.
Back here live at DeVos, and Mike, that's the Orion fan club right in front of us. They're getting their autographs and pictures. A great young man, and thanks so much to him to come on the broadcast here tonight. And he was the one that said, he was like, I got to stop fouling so much.
Well, he's a smart player. I like what he said. When I'm on the court, I just want to make my teammates better.
Yeah.
And that's a guy who reads the room, and a very mature sophomore, and knew what he had to do tonight. And he took advantage of that, of what we thought would be an advantage down low, and was able to stay out of that foul trouble after having 3 in the first half. And that's huge. And I credit him to stay in the game. I want to give thanks to Kalamazoo. I had a chance briefly to shake Nick Giard's, the head coach for Kalamazoo's hand. I said, tremendous effort by the coach. I could just tell in his eyes he was proud of his ball club. They're not going anywhere postseason. They're 3-17. But I admire the scrap on the Hornets. They always give Hope their best effort, and that's really what it's all about.
I agree, and I think Orion said that best too. He was like, I don't know what their record is, but they don't play like it. You know, they're a team that they came in, they had a plan, and they executed it well. They were out playing Hope for about 30 minutes of this game, and it took Orion and a burst of energy from that bench to come in and be able to get Hope to victory.
A great game by Hope. For the 3rd straight game, they shoot over 50%. Actually, they shoot 50% exactly. And what I like, Matthew, is the fact very practical from three-point line. They made 7 out of 17, 41%. That's a little over their season average as far as three-pointers per game, but they didn't rely on that when at times they had trouble getting the ball down and getting some penetration. They didn't panic and start chucking up threes.
Right, 17 three-pointers here in this one shot, and 7 made, of course, but like you said, I mean, that's a little bit of the better number. Like we said, when they've been able to be a little bit more efficient, Hope has done a good job. When they get in that 25 to 30 range, that's when things start to go a little bit haywire.
Credit the bench for Hope for keeping guys like Yanton Howell in the game in this one. 12 points by Avery Sanchez, the 2nd straight game that he has had a 12-point performance. 13 by Brendan Cargill, who really laid the foundation in the first half with those 11 first-half points and helped Hope once again stay with that 3-point lead at halftime. And then as far as Kalamazoo goes, yeah, we talked about the scrap, but they've got some really good talent on that team, if not not a real big depth of talent.
And it was Perez, the junior, in the second half where he's rattled off 6 straight points for them in a stretch that was huge for Kalamazoo to kind of stay within. Anytime Hope got that lead to 7, he was able to crack it down into the 5, into 5, and for them, they were able to stay within Hope's striking distance until about 3 to play.
Well, barring any miracles coming up in the second half of the other games, Calvin up on Adrian Beg, Olivet in command against Alma at home, and Albion down by 14 to Tryon late in the second half. Hope and Olivet will remain tied for first place in the MIAA. Tryon will stay in third, Calvin lurking around in fourth, and now Albion still in fifth, but now they lose a game to a first place with a loss tonight if they should indeed fall to Tryon. So Hope's taking care of business, Matt, tonight. But then they have a game at Alma on Wednesday. It's always tough. I know I sound like a broken record. It's always tough to win a road game on a Wednesday night. These are student athletes, but a game they must have to set the stage for next Saturday against Olivet.
Yeah, and that game's going to be this Saturday. That's the back-to-back for Alma.
Right.
So it will be the 1 p.m. women's game.
Yes, I'm sorry,
and
Saturday.
then 3 p.m. And a big one. I mean, Alma's kind of getting their brakes beaten off by Calvin right now. So they have a little bit of work to do, and they're trying to get into that 6th seed right now. So they have something to play for Hope. So Hope needs to be able to come in, demand their presence be known, and get that victory.
All right, well, thanks for joining us tonight as Hope wins this one 75-62. As Hope, and our next broadcast for Hope basketball men's version will be a week from this Saturday when Hope will take on Olivet Comets right here at DeVos Fieldhouse. For all our fine production crew, Freddie Velasquez, our fearless leader, and my broadcast partner, Matt Wayner, I'm Mike Coleman saying so long. Hope 8-1 in the MIAA, 13-7 as they enjoy this win heading into the weekend up against the Alma Scots right here on the Anchor Network.